You ever bring up RJ's name, you can see right away smiles go on our faces. He's a joy. He's a joy to be around. We start each day when I walk into the clubhouse with a hug, and he like bear hugs me and squeezes me as hard as he can. So he works hard. He's fun to be around, and we love RJ here.
RJ Peete was hired by the Dodgers as a clubhouse attendant 8 years ago at age 18. It was his first job, and he loves it. RJ was diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder at age 3, and the Dodgers clubhouse has become a place where he's accepted and can flourish.
He's so excited to go to work every day. He comes home, I have him break down the whole game for me. He goes inning by inning. This guy's trying to sleep.
There was a time where he couldn't be in an environment like this. The noise, the crowds, all of those things were just sensory overload, where he was so uncomfortable that we had to leave. Fast forward 8 years later, you see him thriving in an environment like this. It's pretty incredible.
And being super social, I think that's the biggest part.
First thing we do, we put the Theragun machines out so players can use them to like hit their legs when they're about to get ready to warm up. Usually every day I set the chairs up, and it's always going to be like this every time. This is where the pitchers sit and the bullpen coaches, they sit and watch the game here. This is our little room right here where the pitchers rest and everything. We usually come in here, stock up waters and everything, Gatorade, all that stuff.
I think it's more of just a chance. A lot of people just need a chance in life. When you have a family like RJ does, his mom and dad, we've gotten to know each other over the last couple of years. They're so wonderful. They're wonderful people, and they created a wonderful environment for RJ, and he loves it. He's thriving, and we all love him here.
On behalf of all of us, RJ, we're so happy to have you back, and we can't be more proud to give you this ring, man. Come get your ring.
My favorite part of the job is just joking around with all the guys and hanging out with the players and everything. It's just been my dream since I've been here.
I think I had signed in 2022, and I was in spring training for 3 days. And I forgot who asked, but someone goes, RJ, what's Freddie's birthday? And he went September 12th, 1989. I was like, I whipped my head. I was like, what?
The doctor who diagnosed RJ as autistic told his parents he would never hold a job or drive a car or even say, I love you. Rodney, an NFL quarterback who started at USC, fell into a depression before eventually coming to terms with the diagnosis of his son.
I probably wasn't as patient with him at the time because I was kind of rolling my sleeves up and going to work. My head was down, like I knew I needed to get intervention and treatment for him. And I needed Rodney on my team, and he wasn't quite on board.
There was a moment that we got together, and this was kind of in the early stages of RJ's therapy, where we had occupational, speech, physical, all of the therapists were in one room and did an evaluation. And I was supposed to be on board with all of this. I was supposed to do my homework. I wasn't doing that. So we got in a room and they asked me, hey, why don't you sit down with RJ and show us what you've been doing with him, and let's see how he interacts with you. Well,
You had nothing.
I had no skills. RJ didn't react to me. And I was so more angry and pissed, but it was also, I'm doing this, I'm going about this the wrong way.
But at the end of the day, Rodney turning around and jumping on board the team was so key. It was not to be cliche, but we needed our quarterback.
And I will say it's so important for dads to be involved. And so often we as men don't want to share our feelings, don't want to open up, don't want to get down and dirty with the feelings. And that's what's necessary. And once I was able to do that and kind of put my ego aside, our relationship, RJ and my relationship, it exploded in the right direction. And so did our relationship.
One of the reasons why we wanted to talk about RJ publicly is because we wanted to show an example of a young man who was told he wouldn't do anything in life at 3 years old, and show that journey. Because if you don't see it, you feel like it doesn't exist.
RJ was on board with it, and once he was on board, then I was okay with it.
If we shared our story, it would help others feel seen and heard, and it would help destigmatize autism. This is a young man that didn't have really any friends growing up, and now all of a sudden, as a young adult, he has a whole clubhouse full of friends. It's remarkable to think about.
I always wanted a job like this, and it's just, we're like a family together, and that's who we are, and it's gonna be like that for a long time.